Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Lion, aka Apathy, and this is the tournament that I am bringing. The Hearthstone tournament that I'm going to be broadcasting coming up very shortly. Registration is open all through this week. It is a basic deck only tournament for. It's going to be beginner friendly for just open to anyone. So whether you are a legend player, whether you just got Hearthstone and all you have are basic cards, this tournament is open to everyone, and I hope everyone takes part in it. So this match that we're going to be watching today is a sort of show match to show everyone what the tournament format is like, what it's all about. The two players we have here, as you can see on screen, are ShriekingFox versus Quadtard. They're both members of the Ottawa Barcraft community. Quadtard, also a vetted officer in the Fever Clan. I believe most of the membership and most of the registration for this tournament, given where we're posting it, should come from Fever Clan and Ottawa Barcraft. But it's open to everyone, so if you have friends that aren't from Ottawa, aren't part of Fever Clan, they're still more than welcome to come in. Just make sure that you post their name and battle tags so that we can get them in the tournament registration. That said, let's go ahead and take a look at this match. We see ShriekingFox is going to be running a basic Paladin deck. Lots of removal. Paladin, very strong. A lot of the basic cards for Paladin are run in competitive constructed decks. Things like Consecration, True Silver Champion, even Hammer of Wrath sometimes you see. So very, very strong picks. Guardian of Kings is an amazing card with that battle cry. Let's take a quick look at Quadtard's deck before we jump into game. Looks like he's running a Hunter deck, lots of beasts, a little bit of buffing. Chillwind Yetis, so strong in basic cards. And he's going to have the Corehound and Tundra Rhino combo. If he can get that off, that's almost a Pyroblast. So we'll see how this goes for him with those Starving Buzzards. If he gets that card draw engine going, that's insane. But let's jump into game. We'll take a quick look at ShriekingFox's mulligan first. We see the Hammer of Wrath, Novice Engineer, Shattered Sun Cleric, and Acidic Swamp Ooze. Very strong start, and she's going to actually lock that in. So we'll switch over to our game perspective and look at Quadtard's mulligan and the Timberwolf kill command. Novice Engineer gets rid of the Timberwolf. Interesting. Doesn't want to start with a 1-drop. Gets a Tundra Rhino, so that's very strong. And let's jump into our game display where we see Quadtard. That's the way it goes. You mulligan a card and you immediately draw it. So he's just going to end his turn. Decides not to play the Timberwolf. I'm not sure what the logic is behind that, but doesn't go for that early board presence. And the really ShriekingFox's decision here. She's got the coin. Looks like she has two 2-drops, the Novice Engineer and the Acidic Swamp Ooze. Remember, there's no weapons available to the Hunter in a basic deck only, so the Battle Cry from that Acidic Swamp Ooze not going to be as useful. And it looks like she's actually going to drop that on turn 1. So I really like that use of the coin. You can see that really flushes out her mana curve quite well. She has 2 drops available as well as her hero ability, which is quite active in this matchup. The Hunter can't remove that, you can't trade hero abilities, the Hunter, that well. So, yeah, she drops the Swamp Ooze. Quadtard, taking his turns very quickly, drops a Novice Engineer and draws a Crocolisk. So, the River Croc, very good card, and it looks like ShriekingFox is going to drop her own her own Novice Engineer, draws a Humility, that can be useful later, and then uses the Swamp Ooze to clean up the 2/1 token from Quadtard, and he's going to go ahead and play the Annual Companion. Gets a Leok, so that's not ideal. It trades, the Leok's stats right now trade very well with everyone on the board, so ShriekingFox has a decision. Of course, the Shattered Sun Cleric, this is turn 3, Shattered Sun Cleric going to be very strong. Would allow her to buff up her Swamp Ooze and trade it into the Leok. That said, she could also Humility the Leok. That's not maybe the most utility from that card. Or the Razor's Fan Hunter could come into play this turn. But it looks like she's going to, play the Shattered Sun Cleric, buff her Swamp Ooze, and then use that to trade into the Leok, and then gives him a little tap with that Novice Engineer. So nice board presence from ShriekingFox. Quadtard playing very quickly, throws down double River Croc. Oh my god! The double Crocolisk, actually that's very strong, because there's not a lot of options that ShriekingFox has to trade into this super effectively. Of course, turn 4, Paladin gets so many options with all of their 4-drops. The Consecrate, not ideal in this situation, as River Crocs have 3 health. The Hammer of Wrath, not a bad removal option. It would allow her to, kill one and draw a card. Of course, she could Humility, or she could just play her own Razor's Fen Hunter. The Razor's Fen Hunter, of course, summoning a 1/1 boar, so she would get a 3/2 of her own and a 1/1 and have 4 minions on the board. So not bad at all. ShriekingFox really off to a strong start, though. The ball is in her court. She sort of decides what happens. She's got more cards and equal minions on the board right now. So I think the Paladin is definitely, just based on the way these turns started, definitely off to a strong start. I wonder if not playing the Timberwolf on turn 1 is going to come back to haunt Quagtard. He had the mana for it. Paladin can't remove it super easily on turn 1, so and realistically it would have buffed a lot of his minions. So we'll have to see what he decides to go for. Of course, he still has it in his hand. It's a 1-drop. You can use it. We're coming up on turn 5, so he could use that to really buff his Tundra Rhino and make that hard to remove. But it looks like ShriekingFox was that, yeah, Hammer of Wrath coming out. Nice, strong choice. We'll see what card she draws off that. Of course, that is all of her mana for that turn. Looks like it was a Bluegill Warrior. Yeah, I think, sorry, the little desynced here, should come back. You have to kind of keep the videos synced up. It gets kind of complicated, but yeah, Bluegill Warrior, I believe, is what she drew, and then she's just going to go to the face with everything else. And I like that decision. I mean, Quagtard, he's not, if he wants to trade the River Crocolisk for the Shattered Sun Cleric, you can let him do that, but ShriekingFox doesn't have to. So, nice decision making there. Animal Companion coming out, and it's a Huffer. So, this is the 4/2 charge boar, very nice for Quagtard right now. He still has mana, he's still got 2 mana left, so he can decide to either use that hero ability or drop the Timberwolf, and we'll have to see how he chooses to attack. Is he going to go straight to the face? No. It looks like he's going to trade for board control and use the hero ability. So he throws damage on, takes back the board control, and I like the position that Quagtard has left himself in. He's really clawed his way back in. True Silver Champion's a really strong draw. Remember, I think that might be one of the only weapons available in basic decks are Paladin weapons. The Light's Justice is also available, but I think the True Silver Champion, a much stronger card. I think we can agree. The 4 attack and the healing, very good. But we'll have to see what ShriekingFox decides to do. The Razor's Fen Hunter is both the 1/1 token and the 2/3 minion would trade well for the Huffer, but we'll have to see what she decides to play. On 5 mana, there's a lot of options here. She could get the Bluegill Warrior out and use that to kill off the Huffer, which would be a pretty strong. I mean, you'd be trading a 2-cost minion. You've already lost your Novice Engineer, but the Novice Engineer draws you a card. That's really the strength of it. You don't... if you can trade a Novice Engineer for anything, that's ideal, but it looks like, yeah, the Razor's Fen Hunter comes down, so she's got sort of minions on the board, and then, yeah, Bluegill Warrior comes out. That charge is going to let her trade with that, keep her Hunter alive, and, yeah, so we're kind of trading board position, turns returned, which is very strong. We'll have to see what people decide to do, and Quagtard, wow, just throws out the Chillwind Yeti, and uses his hero ability to sort of even up the health at 25 to 26, but doesn't decide to go for the Tundra Rhino Timberwolf. Could have cleaned up the Razor's Fen Hunter with that, but instead elects to go for the Yeti. Yeti, always a strong play, and he gets that hero ability off. So I think Quagtard is going to be really relying on using his hero ability consistently to try and bring down ShriekingFox's health. Of course, we can see ShriekingFox has a lot of healing in her hand between the True Silver Champion and the, what's his name? The big 7-drop, what's his face? I can't actually quite read the card, so everyone can get mad at me in the YouTube comments for not being able to read it, but that guy, the Guardian of whatever, that card's so strong. I mean, he's got decent stats, and Guardian of Kings, there we go, I remembered it. I couldn't read it, maybe I read it, you'll never know, but Guardian of Kings, really good with that battle cry. Of course, ShriekingFox looks like she's going for the True Silver Champion, gonna take some of the healing, and we'll have to see. Yeah, she hits the Yeti. That'll allow her to trade the 1/1 token for it, and then uses her hero ability to get another 1/1 token. So, effectively trading one swing of the weapon to remove the Chillwind Yeti. Very strong. I like that decision. Out comes the Starving Buzzard. This is probably what he was holding the Timberwolf for, was to get card draw, and he can get a lot of card draw off this. Actually goes for the kill command, removes the Razor's Fen Hunter, and unfortunately that Starving Buzzard a little bit vulnerable, but Quadtard without any other beast in his hand, he's not going to be able to get that active off, and with the not that recent of a nerf, but with the nerf to the Buzzard, where it goes down to a 2-1, it's really hard to keep it alive. So unfortunately that 1-1 token's going to be able to trade for it, and I would not be surprised if we saw that happen. Of course, if we look at Shrieking Fox's hand, we have Consecrate available, so she could just put some damage onto Quadtard and clear his board. That way keeps her 1-1 token alive. She's at 7 mana, so she can't quite buff it up with the Guardian of Kings, but yeah, a lot of different options available. Actually has the Stormwind Champion in her hand. That, of course, was, when we were talking, was the favorite card that she wanted for her sort of in-between game screen. Really likes that champion, or really likes that, I guess, yeah, I can call it a champion. I mean, it's not League of Legends, but it's still a Stormwind champion. And yeah, it looks like she's going to put that down. Curious to see what she decides to trade with. Gets rid of her 2-2 token for the 3-1 Starving Buzzard and just leaves that Timberwolf up. So Quadtard not happy with what he sees right now, plays the Novice Engineer, goes for the card draw. Multi-shot could be really useful depending on what Shrieking Fox plays next, but looking at her hand, we know it's not going to be able to remove any of the minions in it, and it looks like he's going to play the Shattered Sun Cleric and go to the face, so taking a slight health advantage at 20 to 23, but Shrieking Fox with, oh man, Boulder Fist Ogre is a huge minion to have right now, but more importantly, look at the health on all of Quadtard's minions. 2 health on the Timberwolf, 2 health on the Novice Engineer, 2 health on the Shattered Sun Cleric, and I can't imagine her not playing Consecrate this turn. That is too juicy, and it looks like, yeah, that's going to come out, go 3 for 1, and put damage. Oh wow, so this is a super strong Consecrate. That's why you see it run in competitive constructed decks right now. And the Blessing of Kings come out, and she's going to be able to hit like a truck right now. 10 damage to the face, and yeah, she's going to use her swing. Well played. Uses the swing on the True Silver Champion. That drops Quadtard's health to 7. She has lethal on the board. What does he draw? The Core Hound. Not going to be able to save Quadtard this turn. I think that's going to be game number 1 going to Shrieking Fox. We'll have to see how Quadtard decides to play this out. Does he drop the Rhino? Does he drop the Core Hound? And it looks like, well, he's thinking it over. We'll have to see what conclusions he comes to. 9 mana left. He can play a combination of just about 2 of any card. He drops the Core Hound and the hero ability. But Shrieking Fox has got to be happy with this, knowing she can just attack right past that Core Hound. No taunt on the board, only 7 health left, and a massive minion on the field for her. Drops the Humility to reduce that Core Hound to a mere 1-5, and another well played as the Stormwind Champion for Shrieking Fox takes game number 1.